In this video today, we're going to be talking about a few things that I think that could be prohibiting your Instagram growth. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alrighty guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and another video about Instagram. In this video today, I'm going to be discussing a few things that I think you shouldn't be doing on Instagram. Now, first of all, I'd like to say that I am actually really guilty of doing some of these things and I'm trying to make a shift and change. I see a lot of people in my niche in the scootering community doing these things, but these things can help overall with everything, not just my niche, but I am talking to specifically some of the people in my niche, and some of you aren't going to like to hear this, but please hear me out. This is an open discussion. I want people to comment down below what their opinions are on each thing. Each thing that we talk about today, I'm going to be giving my opinion on why I think it's bad. But if you have another view, then please put it down in the comments, because I love to learn new things and I love to learn other people's opinions. That's what life's all about. So yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way before we start. We'll jump straight into number one. Alrighty guys, we're going to jump straight into number one, and that is stop complaining about the Instagram algorithm. I have been guilty of this in the past, and yes, the Instagram algorithm sucks sometimes, and yes, 50% of the time it probably is Instagram's algorithm on why your posts aren't doing so good. But hear me out, I don't think it's a very good idea to put negativity on your Instagrams regarding the algorithm. I don't think it's a good idea to be blaming the Instagram algorithm out there to your followers constantly on why your posts are not doing bad. It's a bad look for your own page and could have backlash. And yes, I understand there's a difference between actually pushing out content to try and help every content creator by telling Instagram that the algorithm sucks, and yes, I get that that is a valid point. And yeah, but I think there's different ways you can go about that instead of just pushing negativity out on your page. The reason I'm saying this is because I don't think it is a very good look at all for your followers if you're just constantly complaining about the algorithm and your page not doing so well, etc., etc. Instead, what I think you should be doing with your time is figuring out ways to get around the algorithm or make the algorithm work for you and just produce overall good content. Like we talked about in the last videos, the top 10 tips on Instagram. One of the tips was content, creating good content. I believe if you have a solid foundation, you'll be able to flourish your Instagrams easier. But yeah, number one, stop complaining about the algorithm. It's a negative look on your page, in my personal opinion. If you have another view on this, comment down below. I get it. I've been there. I know what it feels like. It sucks. Sometimes you put out content and it just does not get any reach at all. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And I get it is frustrating. But instead of complaining about it, let's try and fix it. Do things that we can do in our control to fix it. Alrighty guys, number two. Number two is quite a serious one. I'm going to spend some time on this one explaining it and just a bit of my personal experience with this one. And that is, don't get sucked into views and likes and worrying about how much you get of each. It sends you down a very, very, very dark path. This happened to me when I first started my Instagram. I couldn't understand why some videos would get 20,000 views, others would get 2,000 views, and then there'll be some that'd get 1,000 views. I didn't understand content. I didn't understand thumbnails, covers, all these things that are in my first video. I didn't understand any of that. So I got really sucked into views and I got really upset when my Instagram didn't do so well. There was a time when I got injured and my Instagram just plummeted and I was like, what's going on? What do I do? What do I do? And it can cause depression in people, really can. Like, that's a worst case scenario, but it can cause some sort of depression. It can cause you to be down and it can cause you to hate the platform. And the platform is a wonderful place. It's good. It can really help you out. But do not get sucked in to the views and likes. Instead, try to do this. This is what I did, and this helped me immensely. This just changed everything for me. Is I really tried to put myself in the consumer's shoes, the consumer being the viewer in this stage, and really tried to think about my content logically. I looked back at over all my content. I looked at all my thumbnails and I said, hang on, this didn't really deserve to get 20,000 views. I had to really take a step back and understand that some of the stuff I was posting didn't deserve that amount of views, or it wasn't actually good content. And after I started to realize this, I started to think, I was like, okay, so I have to put more effort into my content if I want to get more views, likes, etc. The better posts do better and the crappier posts do worse. You have to be able to deal with this. Don't get consumed by it and don't think that every single post is going to do well, please. It's really going to send you down a dark path. Instead, evaluate all your content before you post it. make sure you know the value proposition of each piece of content that you're posting, and it will help you out a lot. So if it doesn't do so well, it's okay. Sometimes you post content just for the sake of it. You upload a clip and you'll be like, oh, who cares? Like, you know, that's the mentality you gotta, if it gets 800 views, who cares? But sometimes like you want things to get good views, so you have to put the extra effort into making sure they do, or doing everything in your power to make sure they reach the people that you need to reach. But yeah, overall, number 2, guys, do not get sucked into views and likes too much. Instead, be consistent. Just keep posting good quality content. I cannot stress that enough, because it will send you down a dark path with Instagram and social media if you worry too much about how many views and likes you are getting on the platform. All right, moving on. Alrighty, guys, number 3. Number 3 is going to be kind of a long one, so please bear with me. It might take me 2 minutes to explain this one. But I think some people aren't going to want to hear this, but please hear my point of view on this. And if you have a different point of view, this is the one where I want you guys to really get involved down in the comment section and let me know what you think of this. Number 3, stop asking people to share every single one of your posts. I ask people to share my posts sometimes, not all the time, and I'll tell you why. Asking people to share your posts constantly, all the time, every single one that you post, makes you look desperate. And the last thing you want to look like on your Instagram as an influencer is you don't want to look desperate. It's going to come back and bite you in the bum. People don't like people that are desperate for views and likes, and they will stop engaging with your content. So just remember that every time you ask your followers to share something, every single time you post, it could come back to bite you in the bum. There's other reasons why, and let me get to them. Number 2, do you really think it's fair to ask your followers to share every single piece of content you post, even if the content is not of some sort of value, or if the content is not good at all? Now, I know that comes from a perspective of each to their own sort of thing, like it's what you think is good. But let's be real, I'm a realist right now, and I'm gonna say realistically, I'm not gonna go out and ask my followers to share something that, like, to share one of my clips that I did in 2 seconds. That is not any worth to anyone else, or no one gives a crap about seeing. I'm not gonna go out of my way to ask my followers to do that. I don't think it's right, I don't think it's fair. So really evaluate the pieces of content that you're asking them to share. Okay, number 3, asking your followers to share every single bit of content all the time can damage your credibility as an influencer. What do I mean by that? So when there's a certain amount of value as an influencer that you have, and there's a certain amount of power that you have as an influencer, and it takes a long time to build. So if you're an Instagram influencer that has a bunch of followers and you have a really good influence rate, what I mean by influence rate is being able to get your followers to do things that you ask them, or answer questions that you ask, etc., etc. If you are always asking your followers to share every single one of your posts all the time, eventually that power of influence is going to go down. And that's not what we want as Instagram influencers. The more you annoy and make yourself look desperate for views and stuff, the less influence power you're going to have. So you need to really evaluate when asking people to share your content if it's not relevant content, or if it's not that good, because eventually no one is going to share your stuff. There will come a time where your power of influence is going to go so low that no one's going to want to share your stuff anymore, because you're consistently asking. So yeah, they're my 3 things on why you shouldn't ask your followers to share every single bit of content. I believe that there is value in asking your followers to share your content at certain points, and you'll see on my Instagram personally, there is content that I ask my followers to share because I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that it deserves a share. I put effort into it, and I truly believe that I think other people would love to see that content. So that's why the whole idea of the reason that I ask people to share my content is because I want others to see it. I believe that it's good content. I put a lot of effort into it. So just remember that the next time you post and you're asking your followers to share your stuff, just remember it can damage your credibility, in my opinion, and it can damage your power of influence, which is not good. Alrighty guys, so this video has been longer than I have expected or wanted it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave an open discussion in the comment sections for the 3 that I've mentioned today, but I have a few more that I want to talk about. So if you want more, just please leave a comment down below. There's a few more things that I don't think you should be doing on your Instagram, and of course I'm going to tell you why, and of course it's just my opinion. But yeah, really opening up a discussion here, guys, because I think that a lot of people are doing these things without knowing that they're hurting their Instagrams, or they don't know any better. And that's the whole idea of these videos, is not to attack people on that. It's to actually help you. It's to really give a different opinion, my opinion on why I think these things are bad. I'm not saying my opinion is the be all end all, because it's not. I am really open to other people. If you have an argument against any of these, please put it down in the comments. I'll contact you directly. It'd be great to have a discussion about it. But yeah, the video is a bit longer than I intended. So in next week's video, if you want, if I get enough comments down below, I will do another one. There's a couple of things I want to speak about. There's a few things that people are doing on Instagram that I think are pretty bad. There's one that I want to talk about that might take a while. So please let me know. And as always, make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video, if it was of value to you of somewhat. And please subscribe. I do these videos every Wednesday. There's going to be all sorts of videos on here every Wednesday. Just talking to the camera, just you and I. Yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Catch ya.